And whenever I was going through the UCMJ, and I thought about, talking about this subject matter because there was an encounter that was done at one of the bases where one of the airmen was caught in one of the articles. I'm not going to say which one. And the way that it came about, I didn't know that you could I did not realize that it was that one catch-all article, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't realize how specific or how general some of the articles are. And that one airman got caught up in it. And I had a conversation with him. He's separated from the military since then, honorably. So he was able to come off of that. So that was a good thing.
Guilty now.
But like having that conversation with him, I was like, I didn't know all of that prior to. So the very first person I thought of was like, okay, well, who do I know that knows this stuff? And that was you. You're the first person. I'm like, I don't know anybody else in JAG, but I know one guy, and that's the only guy that I need to know. So I was like, okay, which are the top 5 articles that airmen should definitely know, once they get into the military, especially during their first term, because during your first term, you're learning so much, and a lot of the times you don't anticipate that your decisions are going to have the consequences that you end up encountering. And a lot of airmen don't see that or don't have the foresight to see that. And hopefully they have a good supervisor to keep them out of that. I was fortunate enough to, have good supervisors those first few years that kind of kept me out of trouble because Lord knows one of the big things, and I don't know if I told you this, but I've told other people since then. I was like, my first term, that first contract, it was from the moment I got to boot camp to the moment that I re-enlisted, it was just getting humbled over and over and over and over. Because I mean, when I got to boot camp, I was not, a young kid. I had
I think you were one of the oldest ones in our flight.
I think I really was. And I guess it came off that way. That's why I ended up getting the position that I did. After that, whenever I got to tech school, I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. This is childish. I'm so much more mature than this. Why I got to do this? Why I got to do that? And then I'd get humbled. And then I got to my first duty station. I got a good position. I was like, okay, cool, cool. I'm like, oh, wait, you don't have enough stripes to talk like that. I got humbled. So that first term it was a lot of, I think that's a thing for older airmen and airmen that naturally go into a leadership position because that's their personality is you push the envelope a little bit because you don't want to see, it's not necessarily you want to see how far you can get. You want to basically find your voice in those first few years. What kind of airman are you going to be? What kind of leader are you going to be? Are you going to be, one of those airmen that lead? Are you going to be one of those support airmen that help everyone, push them forward? And I mean, I said it, and it's probably not good advice. However, if I have a supervisor or an NCO that I'm looking up to, and you ain't ever got an LOR, I'm not entirely sure if I can confide in you all the way through.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I definitely had some supervisors in my first couple of assignments who I was a little big for my britches, and they took the time to take me aside before it turned into a more prominent issue. But no, we were having this conversation the other day at work. Who here has paperwork and what is it for? And we were all talking about it. I mean, we weren't mad about it. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It made us open our eyes and go, okay, hold on, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that's one thing that, like I said, older airmen are going to encounter because when you come in as an older airman, you think about like, hey man, I've lived, I've lived out there in the real world, where no one cares about you. And then you get here and you're just like, okay, oh, I know this, I know that. Um, and then you get to the real Air Force and you're like, you don't know anything. That's it. Like life lessons is a completely different story. You don't know jack about being in the military. And that's one thing that was very humbling in the beginning was that I just had to learn that. I'm like, okay, yeah, don't say nothing. You're wrong. Even if you're right, just listen, see how you can adapt and learn from this. And definitely going over the UCMJ and the articles that you brought up is one way that we can probably set a lot of airmen, at least on
A better path.
on a better path and a lot more knowledgeable on the type of world that they're going to get in.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the XChange over at our channel, Wild at Heart Association. This is a podcast style interview format that we recently started, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Be sure to check that out, give that video a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing here at Wild at Heart.